than I ever expected. As an Igbo man, I've perfected the act to be international in any dream that I chase. To be industrious, be consistent, and powerfully focused. All the lessons I learned from the brothers in the tribe have made me dogged, hardworking, and exhibiting the ability and the capacity to survive in any kind of weather. Yes, I am an original wafo because Mamumu don't do.
Your mumu, my own mumu don't do. Is your mumu about to start? Or as Charlie Boy would say, is your mumu the one of those mumus that is factory fitted? My own mumu, as the case be, it don't do. Welcome once more to this evening broadcast. I am still your host, Mazi Ezoke. And as it is, today is Friday, Freaky Friday. Go grab your cup, grab your coffee, grab whatever grabbable you have. We shall enjoy this Friday together. And by the way, if you are new here, like, subscribe, and share. Let's get the ball rolling. Are you with me today? Let's do it. So I can't even stop dancing the music. This life, as my good brother and they would say, this life no balance. I can't like this music enough. Now I say good evening once more to everyone watching me. I already have people watching from Portugal. Portugal. Portugal is a very nice place, and I would recommend if you're one of those places you go on holiday. I recommend you rent a car and go outside Portugal, go towards the sea. I've done it twice, and breathtaking pictures. And one of them areas very very nice. And one thing that I liked from Portugal was the way they build, construct their what you call gutter here. What we call water channel. They kind of do it something like a little bit covey. They don't dig it deep, but just do something covey like getting a PVC, getting a pipe, cut it into two. You know how it is, and it collects water, and it does a very good job. Very dusty area, but it's good. I like Portugal. Margaret Jagus is okay. Schönen guten Abend, Herr ist okay. Gruß aus Deutschland. Ich begrüße euch auch. Na, Leute, wie geht's euch? So, everybody, how are you? Buhari visit Asiwaju. No. Exactly. J. Chico. I was thinking that it was Buhari in Asiwaju who visited Buhari. No. It is actually, according to Buhari's essay, it's actually Buhari who visited Asiwaju. You know, I will come to that. That will be part of my analysis. It is actually madness. Sorry, but many people wouldn't like it. But what is happening is just, again, it's one of those things. Let's see. And this is how I feel now. I feel like laughing, like this. Oh, dear. But let's go on. Let's go on, people. So, people, welcome once more, everyone. Like I said, just go and get your yard, people. Ne? Get raus. Alle Afrikaner, alle Nigerianer, jeder, den man aus der Straße sieht, hol ihn rein. Sag bitte, komm, setz dich und hör zu. I would say, "Nyanya, nyanya, nyanya." Mm. So what do you mean? I mean, you can just go out and get everybody to come in into the yard and listen. It doesn't matter if you're from Vienna, you're watching me from Cambridge, United Kingdom. That's Grace Ubelase. Have many of you. Itodo is still there. Good evening to you from London. So you can see that we are dotted, very, very dotted. I cannot dot myself enough. I wish I can. Actually, I think I should dot my cap as well. Let me. I'm going to go and customize this cap. Eh? And I'm going to put on your dot in front of it. Who know like and look for where they can get light for transformer and do something again. Do whatever you want to do. It's not my business. But let me start quickly. This is Friday Hangout. Remember Friday Hangout is normally relaxed. We take It's a family conversation. We have these conversations and we learn from each other. I could not keep calling us enough to like this stream. Over 100 across the social media platforms. Now we are just starting, and only 6 people liked it. Nine. Oh, come on. Come on. Let's make it happen, people. Everybody, they concur. Do you want me to play music? Everybody, they concur. Are you not they concur? Sometimes I don't want to drink too much because if I drink too
Our
much,
economic is doing like this. It's doing like this. It's blinking, shaking. So if not, it's because of this strong.
so the economy is, according to your National Assembly person, is drinking, blinking, shaking, doing lungu lungu, and some of them are losing weight. And by the way, if you want to know, I'm not lying because if yesterday after my program yesterday, I found out everywhere was trending. Lai Mohammed, Lai Mohammed. I wanted to find out.
When my 7-year-old grandson called me and said, Grandpa, tell me the truth. Why did they call you Liar Mohammed?
Oga Lai Mohammed. What did I say? Oga Lai Mohammed. Did I say Lai Mohammed? Oga Mohammed. No, if I say Oga Mohammed, that will be abusing the Prophet. Okay, Oga Lai. What's wrong with my brain? Lai Mohammed, Liar Mohammed, Lai Mohammed, Lai Mohammed. Okay, Oga Lai Mohammed. So Oga Lai Mohammed is not lying, so that you don't get me into trouble. From Petersburg, United Kingdom. Good evening, Ne Papa Ochije and Nwagbo Joshua. Good evening, everyone. We must go on. I think I have so many Italians here. Buongiorno, buongiorno, buongiorno. I'll begin to speak Italian. If I have anyone from Chinese here, I will say ni hao. Or I will say Mwanyi. You know what it means? You can put it in the comment section. That might earn you a dotted T-shirt if you understand what. I know so many languages. I'm not bragging, but at least you know how many languages I know. As the brief, if I begin to tell you how many languages, then you might be wondering how come those languages are learned. So where is everybody? Go and invite everyone. Invite everyone. Where are we? Where is everyone? So quickly, I will start. I said yesterday or before now, someone was actually saying that it was Tinubu who visited Buhari, and I said, well, as of yesterday, that was what I thought until I got the clarification that actually it was not Tinubu who visited Buhari, but Buhari who visited Tinubu. You know, we have leaders, you elected them, past, present, to do what? To fix your country. But for some obvious reasons, when campaign was on, you were told that we had 12 fleets, 12 fleet of the presidential jet, well, in the presidential jet or whatever it's called, that we had 12 aircraft. But as it is today, and during the campaign, we were told that these will be sold. That once they are sold, they will be used to start a new airline. I wouldn't say that a new airline was not started, because we went to Farnborough in the United Kingdom in Surrey, and we started a new airline in PowerPoint. That airline took off, and that airline was called Air Nigeria. And that airline sadly crashed landed. There was no survivor. All the money invested in it, all the money taken to Bahrain, all the money invested in that airline was crashed. All the money crashed with the airline. No survivor, not even the person flying the airline, everybody. And we were told that things will be made right in next 2-3 years. And here we are, where it's the airline.
Where is the airline? People, I am asking this question. Where is the airline? The airline. Where is the airline?
Where is the airline? I'm just I like asking questions. Asking questions. Where is the airline? I'm a questionnaire.
So where is the airline? That's what I'm asking now, like a WWE person, WWF. I am angry now. Where is the airline?
We not get airline. At that point, I feel like, honestly, doing this to some people. And I'm being honest. Okay. Now, what then happens? We'll see these pictures. Many of you have seen this picture yesterday. Many of you, or rather, or I would rather say, many of you saw this picture yesterday. But what I did was basically, let me quickly pull it up. Let me pull it up. I just tried to put it in a, do a collage of it. Olufunwa says, can you, don't worry, if you get me angry, I can talk like Incredible Hulk. Oh, someone is watching me from Yokohama, Japan. Wow. Yokohama, Japan. You're welcome. Yokohama. If you like, Yokohama sounds like a city. If you want to hammer, you go to Yokohama and hammer. So this is the picture I was telling you guys yesterday. And if you look properly, you'll see that the venue is different. So the president was the one who visited Tinubu yesterday, according to Bashar Ahmed. Yeah. The president was the one who visited Bola Ahmed Tinubu yesterday. And I tweeted after I saw the picture, I said to myself, the outgoing is visiting the incoming. If you know, you know. The outgoing is visiting the incoming. The incoming will come in if you allow them to come in.
But we would not allow them. to come in. We have to do something, and that's where you and I come in.
Okay, so you and I, if our mumu never do, he said he's Photoshop. Some of us are really cracking me up. It says the pictures are photoshopped. I love it. They are photoshopped. You better wake up. It's just like someone called Chris Nwachuku trolling me on the comment section. He's saying he's going to send assassins to kill me. That I have been paid. I have been paid by the Nigerian government. I say I don't. I've never seen a government paying someone they are looking for, someone they don't like. So I laughed my head off. Why did he say he was going to kill me? Because he said Buhari is dead, and I laughed. That's my crime. But you know, I don't really take that to heart because it appears when I say Buhari is not dead, some people get angry. So I don't want anyone to get angry at me there, but I'm just laughing. So now someone says the photo yesterday was photoshopped. Yeah, some of us can be very funny. Uh, hmm. Allah Hajuma says, "Why is Tinubu older than Buhari?" Yeah. Why did? Okay, let me cheer you up then. Hmm. Oh dear. Why is Tinubu looking to? And actually, anyone who super chats us, we're going to clap for that person. So, but having on a serious note, people, on a serious note, I look at these things and I just you know I just shake my head. Now, I want to do an analysis here, and the following analysis based on the pictures you've looked at, and we got to get serious, people. And my analysis as follows: we had promises made by the APC led government when they were wooing us that they want to come in and that they want to govern. And if they forget, people like me, we don't. Okay? So these were Buhari's promises. Now, let me make this full screen. Oh, no, it doesn't matter. It's the same size, actually. Now, if you can read with me, these are the promises. Okay? So let's, hold on. Let me quickly see if I can. Yeah, okay. So let's see if you can you read it? No, maybe it's too big now. Okay. So let's read along, people. And the promises are no, it's too blurred. I think. Can you see it? Okay. Maybe it's better this way. The promises that they made to us, they said they're going to reduce fuel pump price to 45 naira per liter in the first year of that administration. And that first year was 2015, 2016. Question is, was that achieved? Was that achieved? What's your take? I don't think that the projection to reduce fuel price to 45. If you remember Professor Tam T.D. West, Professor Tam David West, whom at that point, during the time of Buhari's first incursion by virtue of overthrowing an elected government, incursion into governance. He was the one that overthrew Shehu Shagari with Alex Ekweme, threw Shehu Shagari in house arrest and threw Alex Ekweme in prison virtually. Now, if you understand that Tam David West or Professor Tam David West, now late, sadly he must have died a sad man without seeing the full deregulation of the petroleum industry, and at the same time probably not, not seeing that petrol that we became self-sufficient in bringing our own or refining our own products, as it were, you know. And two, they said they are going to be free education at all levels. I mean, I leave you to be the judge. Three, they will pay 5,000 each to 25 million jobless Nigerians every month. Wow. Ask your brother, your sister who's been jobless if they are getting paid. Expand the electricity generation to 40,000 megawatts. Are you aware that we cannot even generate or workers say we cannot even distribute 5,000 as it is? I had asked someone who told me that I should watch out in the next 2 years. This is after the election that I will see improvement. And I've gone back and say, I am still watching out for the improvement because I was told 2 years ago, oh, we are having this deal with Siemens and they are going to blow our mind, blow the Siemens is going to do this, do the other one. We are no longer having it more. Sadly, as well, that deal took the life of Abba Kyari when he went to Germany to strike some deal on that project. One of the things they did was also to say that they would increase minimum wage to Nigerian workers to stabilize global oil price. Oh dear! When I read this stabilization of oil, this thing I say, you see whether on a OPEC, oil price at 100 naira, sorry, $100. I just laugh. To place every graduate on allowance after their youth service until they find employment. So since 2009, 2016, how many graduates do we have and how many of them is placed on salary? I think we should come to a point where we should no longer be listening to politicians or take them serious or at least ask them to have some form of, contract with the people. John Locke calls it the social contract, the contract that you must have with your people, that when you take over, these are the things you are going to do. But here we are, nothing of such is happening. They are going to provide free feeding, including fruits, for all public primary school pupil. Well, you know where that is. I don't know if your child is receiving any free meal. We're going to revive all oil refinery within 1 year. 6 years later, none of the refineries are producing any oil. We are only importing the PMS that we use. And I say, again, shame on that nation. Shame on that nation. Number 10, we are going to crush Boko Haram. We are going to end insurgency in the first 3 months. 6 years later, we are only begging them to come out and hand over. Bomb makers are now being, called repentant Boko Haram. Now, number 11 is part of the reason why we have this broadcast. Number 11, read with me. No Nigerian will go outside the country for medical treatment. 6 years later, 6 years later, the president is visiting a party chieftain. Why? Because both had gone to United Kingdom for medical care. Oga President, your shame, they shame me. Really, your shame, they shame me. Because this is really, really unacceptable. This is really, really, where is the pride that you are a leader of a nation? You should be working to become an emerging economy. Where is your pride that you are aged and you're going to be handing over and you contested 4 times for this post, and eventually when you have it and there is no basic, not even to the sophisticated one. In your state of Castina, women still die from childbirth. In 21st century, it ought not to be. In your state of Castina, there is no, someone has liver, kidney, whatever, there is no hospital to take care of that person. And you have less than 17 months to go. Huh. What a wasted opportunity. Sad. And our leaders, quote unquote. Now, you see, what I found a little bit actually insulting here is that they take these pictures and they will have the infantry to send us this picture in Nigeria saying, oh, the president visited.
Mutani Nigeria Basawa, I don't angry ni. I don't angry. What did they do for London ni? What did they do for Nigeria? What did they do for London ni? What did they do for London? You never understanding that one.
When I can invest, I can do whatever, but sometimes I just feel like, I don't know, but these guys need to wake up. They say build one new refinery every year in the first 4 years. Number 12 for person will never prepare refinery is telling you they will build one. You see, they say when a woman marries 2-3 husbands, she will know the one. If actually the first husband she left was that bad. Now we don't marry all of them. We know the one where no get head. And we know the one where get head, but he no sharp. But again, I believe we will not be stupid to go back and make such silly mistake again. I believe enough mistake done. They're going to build one refinery each year. 6 years now, we should be looking at 6 refineries. Create 3,000 jobs, meaning 3 million jobs. I don't know where the jobs are. Stop importation of refined petrol. The only way we can stop it is to go and use our money and fund Dangote refinery. And we'll go to Dangote and buy the products back, isn't it? Wipe out corruption in the I'm almost choking. This one just made me choke. Wipe out corruption in the first year of the administration. 6 years of the administration. The corruption now has sown Agbada, and the corruption is sowing Agbada officially and sending the locally made materials to Dubai. Before we the cough for corruption, now corruption moves on convoy. Corruption is now, corruption has bought land. Corruption has bought land. Corruption is developing an estate. Yeah? But
What did I know? Going because me is not the president. when they go for campaign, they tell everybody, I pick not to do everything. I tell people when they come to me, say make it a go contest. He don't tell it everybody. It's not very strong. But you people, you come to my house, you bring me, say make it a go contest. So make it never complain. If he never do very good, make it never complain.
Now you ask yourself, where are we? Some people might say, are we writing Book of Lamentation? I would say, no, we aren't, people. But one thing and why we do the analysis here is that, like LIO says, they will give the people rice and people will collect rice instead, and they still give them their vote. No matter what it takes, the people must wake up. Enough is enough of our mumunes. Enough is enough our mumunes. This life, no balance indeed. And we are talking, and these elders, they are visiting themselves in London, and they are sending us pictures from London. And our mumunes, many of us will still fall for that nonsense. Our mumu must have expiry date. Our mumu must at some point do, that we can actually say our mumu don't do. Our mumu, as earlier father would always say, is it actually factory fitted? But be that as it may, let us get into the. So let's look at this.
Joining us now is Kachi.
So let's look at this, people.
And dancing and raising their hands.
So now this story is it's not one of those things I do easily venture into, but I found it interesting because the Nigerian churches now appears that they are going secular. They now sing for Ade Leke, for Ade, I don't know. Your papa no be dangote inside church. I think I'm
and during the church service, singing to Case. Let's take a look at that video. Now, it is, I go call MC Oluwamo. Is that part that I just lost it at? Because I can understand the beginning. Maybe they're trying to say, their God is bigger than anybody that they know, whether it's Dangote or whoever. But then, how does the MC Oluwamo part relate to worship? I try to make sense of this, but I'm finding it very, very, very hard to do. It's not working.
Well, you're not the only one finding it difficult. I'm stunned, but I think I'm speechless. How did that song get to the church?
Well, these days, all kinds of songs get to the church just to inspire people. Many of these Pentecostal churches, they not only provide spiritual food, they also provide entertainment. And, they ended up by saying, well, God will take your case to Oshodi, and they will intercede on your behalf. I'm sure half of that congregation, they don't even know where Oshodi is. And they probably do not know who MC Oluwamo is. But this is the power of music, the power of culture. And the language of music or dance is universal. That is what this has proven. That, a popular song in Nigeria will make its way to church and will be adapted for spiritual purposes. I'm sure that Tenny herself, will be quite excited that, that song has become a major cultural export.
Now, you remember, I think someone is already talking about this in the comment section that you remember there was a time, I think that was in somewhere in Bonu or thereabout, that the masquerade actually entered the church. And I think we published that video then. And reading the comment section, a lot of people actually said, yeah, it is tradition. The tradition was there before the people actually started the church. Now, what do you now say about this? Is this one also good? That secular music will be sung in, without sounding immodest. The way I look at it is, imagine where you go to Ogugu. If you are going to Ogugu, if you're going to Shango, there are the type of music that are dedicated to Ogugu or Olas or whatever. But imagine where Ndichie will be seated in Udo, seated around with Nzu, and the next thing you hear is bim, 50 Cent will just be blasting. You think they have all gone bonkers. Have you, you just like imagining that, just imagine that for 1 second. Or for such places that such music are made for, you come in there and you start at a log. It doesn't work. So, I just look at it and I shake my head. Now, wow, nothing. They didn't even bother to change the lyrics. At least if it was only the beats and you take the lyrics, then it would have been something different. But let's hear from Rufai.
Because of their own personal preference, they have to bring the song to the church and sing and dance and groove to it. And you see the way she was lifting up only hands. I go call MC Oluomo. What is this becoming? What is society becoming?
Like I said, Rufai, that was the part of the song for me that I
what is society
didn't
becoming?
Quite understand.
You see, and it's not only in Ghana. That's
Rufai becoming done. You appear to be too old for this. All these children in the comment section, they shock you old people, but them, they shock them. Rufai be coming down. They shock you. That one shock you like but for them, shock them.
That's how a church in Nigeria invited Korede Bello to come and do God Win, a special number in church. We saw that it happened in this same Nigeria.
But listen, if you understand the church, not the church, I take that back. If you understand the modern church, the new Pentecostals, those that I call the Christian fundamentalists, if you understand that part, that it is a business venture, a franchise kind of arrangement, then you wouldn't be shocked. Because listen, the other day we saw in Oba what happened, Obi Kubana. Why was that? Obi Kubana, if you rank the list of rich people in Anambra State, Obi Kubana probably might not even come to page 250, even maybe page 500, myself. But you see, what they did was show business to attract more business. So when this, as you're complaining now, when these pastors bring these secular musicians to play, they want to bring business. Because after he play, when people don't high, when spirit they high, when you could hear Yamaha, Kawasaki, Urobo, from Urobo to Newi, everything. The next thing you hear, blessing time, offering time. I have tried here. Maybe I'm not called for. I have tried so that we can also be paying tithe here. But month finished, nobody paid tithe. I said, okay, maybe I'm in the wrong business. I can. Maybe I might not be good at doing wayo. Because at the end of the day, people, the bottom line is, yes, I understand how you feel, Rufai, but if you understand that these people are doing this because they are businessmen running a a chain business, you understand that there is nothing new.
Invited Korede Bello as guest minister to come and do God win. Please, let's leave the church for the church. After the church, you can go out and enjoy the secular music. But let's leave the church for the church.
Well, you have not seen churches where they play Fuji music.
Jesus Christ.
And where they even have special dancers.
Yeah, but what is wrong with Fuji music? It's a traditional music. By the way, the Bible says, praise ye the Lord with flutes and guitar. Were une. In Igbo, it translates to say, were une no bakwara. We kene chukwu. But we une ubakwara and ogene. You bring those and oja. You bring those things and you praise him. So, but the only issue here is that they were not praising God. They were only saying, for your case, so I will go Oshodi. I don't know what is in Oshodi. The only thing probably in Oshodi is traffic jam, hold up, or maybe the new bus terminal that is there. Use the word country. Okay, Onyenimo. If you are against Titan, then do the one that you are not against. Let's see. Onye Nnewi ka asị otoro si otoroba ka afnanya.
Akwenimo ni. If he never like me for Titan ni. I say he like me for contribution ni. So make it a bring him. Make it a bring him. He will like me for that one.
So now, when you look at this, and like I said, I do understand Rufai, and when Rufai gets angry on that.
Idea of the church and entertainment, but I think with this particular case, it was what they were trying to say.
Kachi, we are not saying don't go to church. There's a difference between spiritual worship and secularism. That's a secular song. You can enjoy it outside once you leave the church.
Agree.
But that's on the altar of spiritual worship where you are lifting up holy hands. The holiest of the holiest. And you are singing, you go to MC
churches use all kinds of strategies these days.
I don't agree with that.
To attract the congregation, because the business of God.
Point of correction, Ruben Abati, is not congregation to attract customers. Na customers. All of us, na customers. Everybody, they look customer. So if customers come in and you play the music they like, and they talk about robbing God, using the Old Testament to tell you how you rob God, you be in the church, you feel like, man, I've been an armed robber. I didn't know that. How come?
I never knew that I've been robbing God. All this, wow, how can I be robbing my God?
So, because you never knew you were robbing God, that's how they will make you feel. And what would you do? You dip your hand inside the deeper part of your pocket, and you bring out something, Now, at this time, here on Njenje Media, we are making an altar call. Let's see how many of you actually go to church. We are calling an altar call. Come and pay your tithe. March, come on. Where are the super chats we use in paying tithe? Nobody is paying tithe today. What's happening? Even those of us watching from Q. Some of you say that they only do political talk inside the church. Well, unless you're going to Lateran Assembly, that is the one of Pastor Tunde Bakari. Or the other one that called himself Chris Okotie, he came out the other time and said that God, in 2019, that God told him to tell the APC and PDP to field him as the only sole candidate of the two parties. Now, and my issue is not that he has ambition to contest, but of course, everybody has ambition. My issue is that he will say, God told me. then I would then ask, without being, without anybody saying that I'm insulting, what did he consume before before that communication? Did God actually say, or is it his mind playing Ludo with him, or what? Anyway, let's move on to the
in the
next story.
fight against insurgents being near for Nigeria. But some others might just call this another situation that reminds them of all the difficulties they've had to endure as a result of that insurgency. Now, another Boko Haram senior commander, Amir Adamu Rugurugu, and his family, about 3 wives and his children, surrendered to troops of Operation Hadin Kai in Gwoza local government area of Borno State. Now, Rugu, who is known for deadly activities against troops and commuters around Mandara Hill and Sambisa Forest in Gwoza area, surrendered alongside his 3 wives and his children. Now, a resident of the town who confirmed the report to journalists praised Allah. However, Nigerian military had claimed that exodus surrender was as a result of sustained land and air bombardments of their enclaves and hideouts in the northeast. Now, we saw a similar situation like this earlier this week, where there were a couple of Boko Haram insurgents who had come out to say that basically they were asking for forgiveness. And the reaction was very swift to this, with a lot of people saying, if only it was that easy to just ask for forgiveness. And I mean, if that's the case, everyone should just say they're sorry and they should be be forgiven. Anyway, we'll come back to this conversation. Let's head out to a quick break now on the morning show. We'll be back with this conversation.
So now what it means, you can kill people. After killing people, then you just turn up and say, I'm asking for forgiveness, and that's it. That's it. You just turn up and say, I am sorry, and that you are taking in.
So they get into a nostalgic mood, and they go back to their old ways. And what level of intelligence can they extract from them to be able to ramp up the war against terror? This man is called Rugurugu, somewhere in Borno State, and he was also said to be a chieftain. So he has repented along with his family members. But we must not forget the reaction of the likes of Mrs. Sakaba, the wife of Lieutenant I. Sakaba, who died, and the woman, rained curses on the Nigerian army and said, look, what should happen to people like her who lost her husband and others who have been turned into widows and orphans? Yeah. And the fear of persons, like Mrs. Sakaba, is that we hope that one day a so-called repentant Boko Haram soldier, bomb expert or deputy bomb expert, will not suddenly show up and become the chairman of a local government or even be rewarded with a commissionership appointment in any of these states in the affected areas.
I mean, true repentance for me from those people will be if their repentance can go and wake up the 100 farmers that were slaughtered in Zabamari from the grave, and thousands of millions of people that have died as a result of this insurgency. If they can wake them back from the dead and bring them back to life, that would be true repentance for me. Because you see, we forget that these people that died had dreams, hope, aspirations. They had things they wanted to do. And they had the right to live just like these same Boko Haram members that took their lives and keep acting like, oh, they have a chance at life through repentance. So the true repentance for me will wake up the 100 farmers that their only crime was to go harvest rice in Zabamari so that people will be able to eat, and they were slaughtered in daylight. Wake them up from the dead, and then we'll start talking about repentance.
But you're forgetting, Rufai, here that we are speaking with a government that has ear infection, and sadly, with all the visits to UK hospital, it appears that ear infection, or rather that there is no cure in sight for that ear infection. So I do not know, or rather I do not also understand, like I said yesterday, I'm repeating it again today without sounding like a broken record. We cannot continue in this way that these things are happening, and people like me, I cannot make sense out of it. Cannot make any sense out of it. It's either we begin to punish anyone who has broken the law, or we begin to apply the same level of, which I do not subscribe to, the same level of madness by forgiving everybody. Hmm? Forgive one, forgive all. That's what it should be. So not selective, selective, selective forgiveness. Maybe because of where they are from. Again, it's remained to be seen.
Completely pathetic. But let's move on to another story now.
Now, so this story now, this story gets Behu girl. This one, why? Before I get into the next story, I said the following thing. There are women that they do not respect their husbands. You see all this daddy this, daddy that, daddy this, as if na daddy shocking. Now play monkey they from road enter bush. Monkey they jump from one tree to another now because tree they near. Now because pastor they near play daddy or dialogue that will beg in the moon. You go dollar daddy and you go die you for the Azarum. Now this is a pastor that actually took somebody's wife. Not that he was but wholesale. Just listen to that story. I found it incredible.
It's completely pathetic. Story. But let's move on to another story now.
It's an incredible story.
Similar narrated how his mother suffered. Another story now. Similar story to what we had yesterday. We have an update on this story. Reactions continue to trail the story of Pastor Moses Adeyo, who allegedly snatched and married the wife of his church member, Tina Bright, now Tina Adeyo. Now, in a recent development, the son of the General Overseer of the World Bank Assembly, Peter Adeyo, revealed that he didn't know his father got married until he saw the pictures online. Now, Peter narrated how his mother suffered to build from scratch with his father before his father then served her divorce papers last year and then moved her belongings from their home. Meanwhile, Tina said no one snatched her and that she left her husband, Bright Ben, after 11 years of severe abuse and threats to life. She added that Pastor Moses picked her up and gave her a new lease of life. She also denied having an affair with the pastor while still being with Bright, her previous husband. Well, before we talk about this story, let's take a look at an old video of Tina Adeyo celebrating her pastor, now turned husband.
Hello, I want to sing to my papa. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Now, this hand is well bleached. You bleach so that your knuckle will be Fanta and Coke.
Hey to you. Happy birthday to my father. Happy birthday to you.
Okay, well, I mean, let's open up the floor for this one because this is a lot.
Oh, okay. This is why I say I should go.
Dr. Go ahead.
Over to you.
The gentleman, Mr. Ben Bright, the matter started when he issued a statement on Twitter asking the question, is the house of God the house of confusion? Because, yes, he may have been having problems with his wife, and then he went to this same pastor, this Pastor Moses Adeyo of the World Bank Assembly International.
World Bank Assembly.
World Bank Assembly International in Port.
Did you hear the name of the church? World Bank Assembly. World Bank. Hey, nothing Musa no go see for gate. Nothing Chukwebuka no go see for Alaba. Hey. Moju. Nothing you no go see for where they sell a wedu and Amara. Small time you go hear United Nations Church.
To seek counsel, not knowing that it is the same pastor that has kept his wife in protective and amorous and scandalous custody for up to a period of 7 months, only to see pictures of the pastor, married to his wife, kissing his wife, and the man raised an alarm that this is his wife of 11 years, being snatched for him by his own pastor, some of them refer to their pastor as daddy. So this was daddy, snatching a member's.
If it's Nedu Wazobia, Nedu will say Kwalume Zazi. So this is an example of Zazi. This guy is a Zazi. He's a Zazi in the Lord. And he's a very good Zazi in the Azar room too. A Zazi in the Lord, a Zazi in the Azar room.
Wife. And he's so distressed. Now the woman has come forward to say, well, he left the man, she left the man after 11 years of abuse, and that nobody snatched her, that she willingly gave herself to the man. And when you have the son saying that, look, his father did not divorce his mother, and that his father is still legally married to his mother. So what are the issues here? One is the issue of bigamy. Bigamy is a crime under Section 370 of the Criminal Code, and under Section 387 and 388 of the Penal Code. If you are guilty of bigamy under the Criminal Code, you are guilty of, you will be sentenced for 7 years. In the North, you will not only be sentenced, there is also a fine. But bigamy is one of those dead laws in Nigeria. The body of laws in it, you really can't find heavy case law, because we have a dual legal system. People marry under the Act, they also marry under customary law. So but there is a problem of bigamy here. Maybe Pastor Adeyo's wife will push the matter and sue for bigamy. And maybe Mr. Bright will also sue the wife if indeed they have not been separated. Because under the law, as stated in Hyde versus Hyde, marriage is between a man and a woman to the exclusion of others. So if you go beyond that, then of course, you may have committed bigamy. And Section 35 of the
but slow down. You're quoting too much law. Who Section 34, 35? Who will help? Who's Section 35?
If the other two parties,
Oh,
because
wow.
these are all adults.
It's 50-50.
If
adults, that's the third husband
Yes.
and the pastor's
It's
wife.
50-50, no
What
cheating.
happens?
No,
the bigamy extended?
No court of law will do
It's
that.
50-50.
That would be wife swapping.
Wife swap. It's 50-50, no shitting. But
No court
I
will
was just
say,
being cheeky.
because they took your wife, you to go and take his wife.
but for me,
I wasn't
for
saying
me,
the courts, though.
Go and take another
for
person's
me,
wife.
I would like to say, dear Pastor Adeoyo, what happens to the Bible verse that says, what God has joined together, let no man put asunder?
Let no man.
And that's also what will lead me to this argument.
No, but in his own, in the Bible that he uses now, that portion has, I think, rat ate it. So you don't blame him, because whenever he gets to that portion, he cannot read it. So because it's not there, so how do you blame him on that?
People always say, touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm. Will the anointed too stay off things that will make him be touched, or make harm come to him? I rest my case.
I think now that we are quoting Bible passages, Kachi, permit me to add to this. Pastor Adeyo should please take his Bible and check the 10 Commandments. The sixth commandment
Adultery.
says, thou shalt not commit adultery.
Yes.
And expressly, Mr. Ben Bright is he's accusing Pastor Adeyo, who is supposed to be a man of the word, for violating one of the 10 commandments in the Bible. Thou shalt not commit adultery. This is a pastor now providing leadership in that direction.
You should know better.
Anyway, thank you very much,
Absolutely.
Kachi. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you so much for having me.
So I don't know what your, you guys, I don't know what your take is. At the end of the day, the bottom line is that Oga is there now fighting for the wife. Someone just took the wife from him. But what it means is, maybe because Oga is not good in the other room, or maybe, I don't know. Honestly, unless I ask, maybe I ask, one of my good friends, what's Alaji Kazaure? Maybe I ask Alaji Kazaure. Alaji Kazaure.
Megidani. Menini. Wetin I dey see for this quiz? Wetin I go talk me for this?
Our economic is doing like this. It's doing like this. It's blinking, shaking, blinking, shaking.
So in his verdict, I asked him about the marriage, but he says the whole thing is blinking, blinking, shaking, blinking. Hmm? But I don't know. Maybe I'll ask Alhaji Lai Mohammed.
Alhaji, waiting if we talk for this one.
When my 7-year-old grandson called me and said, Grandpa, tell me the truth. Why did they call you Liar Mohammed?
I don't know why they call you Liar Mohammed, Doga. I didn't call you Liar Mohammed, but you at least you said it, and we have it I know in the video. Did Mazi just say bottom line? No, top line. He says Mazi just say bottom line. Lauren Quinn, I would like to talk about the alleged abuse. No one is talking about it. So, Lauren, maybe I will have to open up the telephone line because I like the perspective the women are bringing here. Laura Quinn, maybe you can ring and let's hear about your perspective on the. If you want to call, the number to call is on +234 708 004 2206. So let's actually look at it. Maybe is who is at fault here? The ex-husband who was accused of abuse, that maybe actually that maybe she was being abused true, then she ran away and searched for succor in the hands of the pastor. In the midst of night vigil and prayer sessions, trying to for the spirit to work. It could be that the spirit worked anti-clockwise, and you understand. So maybe instead of the spirit to move close to the other side and slap the man and tell him to stop abusing, maybe the spirit missed the road and came back. So Laura, Laura, Laura Quinn, if you want to bring in women perspective, no, on a very serious note, maybe women can actually tell us what they think. Women can actually tell us, because I think it's one good thing that that she just said, that the woman said she was being abused, and it appears, if this is a man's word, that men are not saying much about that. But let us hear from the women. Let also hear from the women. The number to call on is +234 708 004 2206 on the screen. So, while we are on that, unless we don't have opinion, obviously, everybody mustn't have opinion. Unless we don't have opinion. Some of you are actually, the pastor has plausible deniability, but it implies the woman is a liar. I wish I had more insight into what you meant. If the pastor has plausible deniability, or is he going? What is he going to deny again? That he's not married to the woman, or did the woman show him the marriage, the what's it called, the divorce certificate? And and we also bear in mind, we also have people like Mbama, Nemeka, who said that it is actually the confusion the Americans brought to us that is actually driving the whole madness. In his argument, and I take it to be that if we didn't have Christianity, men will be marrying 3, 4. Wow. But many of you who are married, the stress of one. So imagine when you add it 2 and 3. that is your grave will be nearer. By the time you know it, you'll be singing nearer. My God, oh, they're nearer to thee. So Basil says, even if she was abused, two wrongs does not make a right. She should have gotten a divorce before marrying the pastor. I think every sensible person would agree with your position on that. That no one. Elio says that thing is chaotic. What is chaotic? Is it that the relationship is chaotic, or that the narration is chaotic? Hmm? Because we don't we don't know what it's eventually meant by that. Now, on another news, the um what some of us still talking about Tinubu, okay? Tinubu campaign is already okay. Let's take the call what's only, please. Now, while we are already on Tinubu, there is this video that surfaced yesterday where Tinubu's men are already taking oaths. They are taking oaths. So when I tell you, go and save it, people are already working their arts off, trying to get you your second president. So you will be only shouting, is it this, is this the other one? Then he go clear you for eye when what I'm telling you today, when what I'm telling you today happens, it will clear you for your eye. As it did. No, Lara Queen, only on WhatsApp, please. Okay, call me on WhatsApp, please. Call me on WhatsApp. I don't want to chop your money. Like the church people say, they will take your case for Oshodi. If you call me on WhatsApp, yes, then we'll hear your view on this. But while you're going to do that, then let me look at that Tinubu's video. His campaign is already being constituted, and they are taking oath. Hear their oath here. Pay attention.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear. Swear, sorry, say swear.
That I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to Tinubu Support Organization.
To what? Tinubu Support Organization. And some of you will be there. You don't have PVC. You don't. There is nothing. You can't come out. Even a protest, you can't come out. Even if not to vote against, you can't. Nothing you for do. These people are taking oath already. How they will make sure that it happens.
That as I will discharge my duties to the best of my ability, faithfully and in accordance with the constitution of the organization and the law, and always in the interest of the sovereignty, integrity, solidarity, well-being, and prosperity of the organization. That I will strive to preserve the fundamental objectives and directives, principles of organization policy contained in the constitution of the organization. That I will not allow my personal interest to influence my official conduct or my official decisions that I will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the organization, that I will abide by the Code of Conduct contained in the schedule to the Constitution of the organization, that in all circumstances I will do right to all manner of people according to law, without fear or favor, affection, or ill will, that I will not directly or indirectly communicate or reveal to any person any matter which shall be brought under my consideration or shall become known to me as except as may be required for the due discharge of my duties as, and I will devote myself to the service and well-being of the people. So help me God.
You see, I'm everybody they call God. So it's just to tell you that the game is on, people. For President Buhari to be meeting Tinubu in London. You know, Tinubu had an operation. So maybe he cannot squeeze his leg to enter the car. Now, as they say, if Mohammed cannot go to mountain, the mountain shall go to Mohammed. And as it is, mountain went to Mohammed by Mohammed B to go to the bullion. Did I say bullion van? Bodylon. Is it? Bodylon CEO, not bullion fans. My mouth put me for trouble. I know talk bullion van. Fine, but what are you talking? I think I saw bullion van one time in his house. Yes, the one that parks bullion van in his house at the election eve, and he will come on TV and ask us questions. So, what do you think? What do you think is it not his money? He can use it to do whatever he wants. Now you can see how these people are being sworn in. Part of what during the swearing in, part of what they said was, if I see anything, I don't know if you paid attention to that side. If I see anything, I shall not reveal it. If I see anything, I shall not reveal it. Pay attention again.
That in all circumstances, I will do right to all manner of people according to law, without fear or favor, affection, or ill will, that I will not directly or indirectly communicate or reveal to any person any matter which shall be brought under my consideration or shall become known to me as, except as may be required.
You know, anything that will be known to me shall not be revealed. Okay, I don't talk my own not to bring the information, analyze for you, do with it whatever and however you want to use it. That's your own Toronkocha. But all we must know is that as Charlie Boy says, that our mumu must be enough. If at the end of the day we end up having worse than what we have, then it means that all the children died during the NSAS and the Lekki massacre. That we are told, yeah, CNN lied, this one lied. Yet, the Lagos State Coroner had to issue statement in the newspaper saying that there are dead bodies, not claimed you should come and claim them, blah blah blah. And these dead bodies died within the time in question. Where were they? In the words of the vice president, is he will say, "That's where we are, where. Is it? That's where we were, or where we are. Whatever we wear them." So I'm still waiting to have a perspective from Laura Quinn, please. I'm still having to have to take your perspective on the woman, and that that the pastor took obviously over. So, but Maju Ude says the woman claimed being abused and went to the pastor. Why didn't he, pastor, find out and help the woman save her marriage? Well, you're thinking like a rational human being. But if you knew the way the woman was singing in that video when she was singing happy birthday to you, you probably were seeing happy birthday. I was seeing more than happy birthday in that video. I can bet you $100 that the telephone she was flinging when she was singing that happy birthday was bought by that pastor. It is a communication say, Zazi here, look at that telephone, is very good. The camera is very sharp. That's the way. That's the way I look at it. Neme Kambana says Tinubu will destroy Igbo properties in Lagos. Dear. Dear. I don't think that's going to happen. But again, um, I might be wrong. So, people, it has been very, very interesting time to have spent with you this evening. Looking at various issues. At the end of the day, if there is any other thing that if you have any question, I'll just have a couple of minutes. Then I'll be bringing the broadcast to a close. If you have any other questions, anything that bogs your mind, you want to ask Mazes, okay, your time is now. Your time is now. Somebody is sending me something. Nigerian Inland Water Authority. See, they don't come again. So anytime we talk something, and I go come with inland. Don't worry, inland get me tune there. We need the man of God in Medugri. You see, as this one na job they won. Yeah, hello.
This is Laura Queen.
Okay, Laura Queen, how are you?
I'm all right, thank you. And you?
I'm all right. Go ahead. So you said you have a different perspective on the narration the woman gave, that you have a different perspective to that regarding abuse. Go ahead.
Yeah, so to be fair, I don't know the full story about the marriage, what went on. There was a video about the guy was kind of explaining, what happened, how he saw that the wife is married to their pastor. I don't actually condone the pastor marrying the woman. It's just like a boss in the office or in the company trying to date one of the staff. It's usually not acceptable because the boss of the company is seen as someone who has upper hand or power or more power. So it would be a bit difficult for the staff to say no because if they say no, they could lose their job. They could be thinking that, and for that reason, whether they wanted the relationship or not, it would be difficult for them to actually say no. I don't want to have a relationship with you. So I would also attribute this to the pastor, he shouldn't have been the one to, marry this lady. But I would have been happy if the lady, found somebody else because, I went home recently. And I noticed that there's a lot of abuse that women. I didn't go to other parts of Nigeria, so I can't say for maybe women from Lagos or wherever or Yoruba, but
So which when you say home, which state do you mean by home?
so I went to Akopa, that's in Imo State,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's where I stayed. I haven't been back home for nearly 2 decades, so a lot of things were new to me. So
And you noticed abuse. You noticed abuse in what forms?
yeah, and I noticed that a lot of abuse from the men towards the women, and I think it's because of a lot of our women, because of just too much poverty, women have to rely on their husbands for almost everything, money, paying for all the bills and stuff like that. And whenever somebody has so much power towards you, they always take advantage of it. That's just human nature, right? I met this really beautiful lady. We became friends. She would take me to the market for shopping so that the market ladies don't cheat me because once they look at me, they realize that maybe I came from somewhere else.
You are imported.
Sorry?
They will know that you're Belgian imported.
Yeah, they could tell, even the old ladies, they could tell that it seems like I'm from abroad, as they say it, and they try to change the price and cheat me and stuff like that. So this lady, she will take me to the market. People will often see us and think maybe I'm her younger sister. She's very light-skinned like myself. She's so beautiful. And I saw something on her body, and I said to her, like, what happened to you? What happened to your hand? And she just told me in my ear that her husband beat her last night. I couldn't believe it. Like they have a son that is 15 years old, and she has a twins as well, twin little beautiful girls. And it was just arguments about the woman needed to cook, and she asked her son to cook just like a rice so that she can take the little girls to school. And the husband didn't like that. The husband said she should do the cooking and not have to ask the son to cook it, to do the cooking. That's it. And the guy started beating this woman. And I was shocked. But I just kind of drew conclusion. I went to her store where she sells things in the market. She sells cocoyam, ete, and oha leaf. I said to her, why can't you sell other stuff? Like, you would make a lot of money selling this. And she said she doesn't have money. I said, okay, how much do you need to do sell the oils and tomatoes and all this sort of thing?
So you gave her money. How much?
Sorry? She said 50,000 naira.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of pinched myself. I couldn't believe that. That's just like less than 100 pounds.
So did you give her them?
No, I didn't give it to her. I told her that I will send her some money when I come back to the UK. It's not been so long that I came back here. So I haven't sent her the money, but I will send her the 50,000 like I promised. I like to keep my word, keep to my word. But, I can imagine after they've been obviously been married for over 16 years because their son is 16 years. And
okay. So if you just oppose it to the video in question, so your argument is that you think the reason the woman is gone to the pastor is because she was being abused.
Yeah, you know that women, right? I have had a story whereby a very young couple, the husband slapped her and she ran out from the house, and this guy picked her up and was telling her sorry, take her to his house, wiping her tears. She ended up getting pregnant for that reason. So women, I'm not saying that the circumstances is always the same for everybody, but some people said on the chat that maybe. But
how does pardon my ignorance, but how does wiping tears get somebody pregnant? That's another new one.
Well, I'm not gonna be like explicit to say what happened. The
Okay. Okay, something happened afterwards, not only wiping tears. Okay. Wow. Wow. Oh, wow.
So when you hear that, it's like, oh my God, how can she do that? But as a woman, I think about that. I probably wouldn't do that because everyone has things that tick them. But some people said that she should have waited and got divorced. But who knows? Maybe she doesn't have money to take care of herself. She doesn't have jobs.
Maybe you're right. I mean, thank you very much for for calling in, and maybe you're right. Maybe you're right. Okay.
People should just put themselves in the shoes. It's truly that the woman is going to abuse the way she explained the beating and stuff like that. The woman shouldn't take all the blame. I think if there's any blame to go, it should go to the pastor because the pastor shouldn't have taken that advantage of her. But the woman has to survive. If she didn't have the house where to stay, and she don't want to stay with the husband that is beating her, she doesn't have money to rent a house, which is something that.
But the husband didn't. The husband didn't push her away. So the husband.
But according to, have you watched her own video? You need to watch her own video.
Okay, can you send me her own video? I didn't. I just saw. You know what? I think this is getting interesting. Onyenimo. If you might, I might have to hear your view as well because some people think that you're sounding feminist and you're defending the women folk. I mean, obviously.
No. Please don't get me wrong. I'm not a feminist whatsoever. I don't use that word. I don't believe that feminism has anything to do with black women, especially Igbo women in particular, who were never oppressed by our men. Igbo women have rights to do whatever thing they want to do. So I'm not a feminist. I'm just saying on the human perspective that the blame should go to the pastor because the pastor is the one that has the power more than the woman. If there is any blame to go, it should go to the pastor, not the woman, because you don't actually understand her circumstances. And I give you an example of what happened to a lady that got slapped by the husband. People are very quick to, judge other people, but you need to actually put yourself in their shoes in order to actually appreciate their situation. That's all I have to say.
Okay.
So if you want, Mazi, I will send you her own video so that you can listen to her explanation and you listen to the husband. Then you kind of try to imagine or relate to who is actually saying the truth.
Okay.
Some of the things that she said, I just related it to what happened to the lady that I befriended when I went home.
Okay, so and I must say on a final note before I let you go, you went home and you enjoyed it. If possible, is good, and we will be happy to have you home all the time. So do not stay away.
I did not enjoy it. That place is the hell. Oh my God.
No. Listen. I cannot accept that on air. That place is not a hell. No. Listen. It's not. It will be hell for you because you've been 20 years away. That's 2 decades. So yeah, it is in our nature. It is in our nature to complain. You know that.
Yeah, okay. I'm a pharmacist. When I went for my took like a lot of medication, I see people dying for a little problem, not elderly people, 70 years elderly person or 65 years, they're so sick, they're dying. It's just a little bit of inflammation problem. And if you just give them some small medication and they just get better, like
hold on. Let me ask you. You see why if we put on this attitude, we might not get anywhere. I'll give you an example. I have given community, I built school for my community, right? And 3 years later, I went to that same school. That school was commissioned by, if you go to YouTube now here on this channel, just type in German speaks Igbo to P2B, you will see that video, the commissioning of that video. A German speaks Igbo to P2B because 2 of my German friends came during that time. Now, In that, after 3 years of building and commissioning this school, which happened in January 2007, in 2010, I went back to that same school. I nearly shed tears. Why? Because some of the windows already falling off. You know, when I mean chaka plate, I don't, you might not understand. It's metal windows, right? Some of the ceilings are poked, holes on them. Kids are destroying them. The walls, the kids are already writing something on the walls, right? Now, and sadly, I went there on a Saturday, just on my own. I parked my car somewhere, walked down there, and in coming into the school, I can perceive the smell of Igbo, Indian ham. And when I got in there, I saw two young chaps sitting down. Even me, the builder of that school, could not speak to those guys because I might not come out alive because I didn't go with escort. I went alone, right? I don't know. When I narrated this to the principal said that they are SS3 students or whatever. But I do not know them personally. I don't. So why I'm telling you this story is, if your heart is there, the only way we can get things to work. And I tell you, when you stay away for long, you come in, the whole place is just like a total mess. But when you begin to when you begin to come closer, you maybe somewhat begin to get used to the odoriferous odors, smells, or whatever. So, because if not, it would ever be an empty space because if all of us run away, at the end of the day, we only have to leave the those who are unable to run away there, and we have a very bastardized place. So my only thing, but at the end of the day, listen, what I'm trying to say is because you went home, you just saw that doesn't mean you should stop. Here I've given exactly. So, and again, one thing, you've gave them medication. You should go ahead and continue doing it. I do that as well. I've given hospitals wheelchair. 2 years later, none of them wheelchair. None, not one is working. Not one has the tires. Not one has the tires pumped. You know what? Do you know how? Dust everywhere. You know, if given hospital, yeah, give a hospital Ioka scanner. And what I was told was, oh, yeah, no, these are scanner. There was no scanning gel. For Christ's sake, they sell scanner gel. I mean, you're not doing these things free. You just that. So once you understand all those things, I don't. I mean, I'm not an expert, but again, these are things after the fanfare of giving all these things, trying to. I can tell you about 37 computers given to schools in my state. Not a single one is working. Not a single one. You think I'm happy? Or you think we will stop doing good? No, we can't. Okay, next time I know you're from Akokwa now. Next. Okay. So next time, what I'm going to do is I would, because you're from Akokwa, that's very close home. Probably will need to make it a very memorable experience for you. But please, I beg you, 20 years, let it be the last 20 years. Make it a year, an annual trip. You'll begin to enjoy it. Exactly. Okay, I'm happy that eventually, if nothing is achieved today, at least you promise to be coming back more frequent. Thank you very much for Thank you very much for that call. Thank you. All right. Bye. So, people, Onyenim, I know you're already disagreeing, but it's what it is, people. At the end of the day, that's what we do here. Basil Ezechima says, Mazi, please, I want to ask you, why can't they issue a certificate during traditional marriage or email going? It's actually a good question, but who would issue it? Who will be the issuing authority? The community? That means the community would be issuing that. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, honestly, I haven't thought about that, but it could be a way to go. Or maybe because it's traditional and you have a traditional, either the traditional prime minister or the traditional ruler of the community has to issue one. I don't know. Maybe something we'll have to explore. Because many of us actually were somewhat, you know that many of you watching me now got married 3 times. Yeah, you do traditional one, you do the white wedding, and you do the court wedding. And some of you actually do 4 times, especially those that married from the Catholic family, where the mom say, "Oh, I am a mother of Okukwe. I am this in the church." The Catholic would stop giving me Holy Communion if I do not allow you to wed in my church. And the man, out of love and to avoid quarrel, will say, "Okay, I will come and I wed in the Catholic church." He goes back to his Methodist church, Anglican church, Pentecostal church, whatever church it is. He goes back and weds again. He goes to court, he weds again. He goes to traditional, he traditions again. So 4 good times. Jesus Christ. I wish there is a way to make money out of it so that we'll make it 5 times to myself. On that note, I will say thank you everyone for joining me this evening. It's been a great time to have all of you here. On that note, I will say good evening once more, good night, good morning, and good afternoon. Endeavor to join me tomorrow. That is the street parliament solely for you. That we have to have some serious conversation tomorrow, and that will be your opinion, will be what counts. That will be 6 o'clock, 6 p.m. tomorrow. And do not forget on Sunday that I will be having Professor Chidi Weswagu. He will be giving us the link between the Igbos of Haiti and the Igbos of Nigeria. Thank you once more and have a blessed day.